Good morning, everyone. Today we will discuss about the types of stars, which is divided into four subtopics. Classification of stars by their color and temperature. There are seven primary categories of stars, and they are grouped by a system called spectral classification. This system categorizes stars based on their temperature, color, and brightness. These categories include O, B, A, F, G, K, and M-class stars. These are the stars category. O-type stars are the hottest stars with surface temperature that range from approximately 30,000 degrees Kelvin and higher. B-type stars are also hot but is slightly cooler than O-type, appearing blue-white. A-type stars appears in the color of whitish blue and its temperature range from 7,400 to about 10,000 Kelvin. F-type stars are yellow-white, reach 6,000 to 7,400 Kelvin, and display many spectral lines caused by metals. G-type stars. These are yellow, with surface temperatures of 5,000 up to 6,000 Kelvin. K-type stars are yellow to orange, and its temperature is about 3,500 up to 5,000 Kelvin. And the last type of stars is the M-type. Has the color red and temperature is about 3,000 Kelvin. The colors of the stars indicate their surface temperature. There are 5 different types of star colors: blue, white, yellow, orange, and red. The hottest stars are blue, with temperatures around 25,000 Kelvin, while the color red is the coolest stars among the others and have a surface temperature around 3,000 Kelvin. Bluest stars are not just hotter than the sun, they are also significantly larger, 12 to 25 times the solar diameter and more massive. At the same time, red stars are lesser in temperature and size, ranging from 0.1 to 0.6 solar diameters and 0.08 to 0.5 solar masses. The classification of stars. First is the main sequence stars. Main sequence stars derive energy from the fusion of hydrogen into helium in their cores to produce energy. Approximately 90% of the stars in the universe are main sequence stars, which includes our Sun. Stars spend most of their lives in the main sequence stage. And the last type of the stars is the dwarf stars. Dwarf stars have different types of stars based on their size, temperature, and stage in the stellar life cycle. These are red dwarf, which are the smallest and coolest among the main sequence stars. Because of constant churning, red dwarfs burn their hydrogen efficiently for trillions of years without changing their internal structures. White dwarf. These are stellar remnants that have exhausted their nuclear fuel and shed their outer layers. They are especially dense and emit a faint glow. Yellow dwarf is a star that is often referred to as a G-type main sequence star. An example of this star is our Sun. And the last one is the brown dwarf star. Brown dwarfs aren't technically stars. These are substellar objects that lack the masses needed to sustain hydrogen fusion. They occupy the gray area between planets and stars.
Welcome to an exploration of the cosmos where we'll uncover the mysteries of variable stars, the intricacies of binary star system, and the grand narrative of stellar evolution. These phenomena offer profound insights into the workings of the universe, revealing the dynamic and ever-changing nature of celestial objects. Join as we journey through the life cycles of stars and the exotic objects they leave behind. Here are the types of the special types. First, the variable stars. Variable stars captivating celestial bodies exhibit changes in their apparent brightness as observed from Earth. These stars are categorized into two primary types, intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic variables undergo changes due to eternal physical processes such as pulsation or eruption. Extrinsic variables, on the other hand, experience variation in brightness due to external factors such as eclipses or rotation. The first type of variable star is intrinsic. The variability caused by changes in the star's physical properties. while extrinsic variability caused by external factors. Here are examples: Cepheids, RR Lyrae, Mira variables, novae, and supernovae. Next is binary stars. Binary stars gravitationally bound pairs orbit a common center of mass, creating a mesmerizing dance in the cosmos. These systems are classified based on how they are observed. Visual binaries are resolved as a distinct object through a telescope. Spectroscopic binaries reveal their nature through periodic shifts in spectral lights. Eclipsing binaries exhibit brightness fluctuations as one star passes in front of other. Visual binaries are stars that are visible as two separate objects. Spectroscopic binaries are binary that nature is revealed by shifts in spectral lines. Eclipsing binaries. One star is periodically passes in front of the other. The last one, pulsars. Pulsars, rapidly rotating neutron stars, are the dense remnants of supernova explosion. These celestial objects possess intense magnetic fields and emit beams of electromagnetic radiation along their magnetic poles. As these beams sweep across space, they create precise pulses of radiation detectable on Earth. The Crab pulsar is a well-known example form of supernova. Pulsars, known for their strong fields. Pulsars possess intense magnetic fields. Radiation beams. They emit radiation along the magnetic poles, and precise timing. Beams create pulses of radiation. Now we're going to tackle how stars change over time. Stellar formation. Stars are born from vast clouds of gas and thus known as nebulae. Gravity initiates the collapse of these clouds, causing them to heat up from a protostar. As the core becomes sufficiently hot and dense, nuclear fusion ignites, transforming the protostar into a main sequence star. This marks the beginning of a star's life, fueled by the fusion of hydrogen into helium. Nebulae are stars that are born from clouds of gas and dust, while a protostar gravity causes cloud to collapse and heat up, and main sequence is the nuclear fusion ignites. Next, main sequence stars. During the main sequence stage, a star spends the majority of its existence fusing hydrogen into helium within its core. The outward pressure generated by nuclear fusion counteracts the inward pull of gravity, maintaining the star's stability. The duration of this stage depends on the star's mass. More massive stars exhaust their fuel at a faster rate. In the fusion of stars, the hydrogen turns into helium. Stability, pressure balances the gravity. Duration, it depends on the star's mass. It is said that more massive stars exhaust their fuel at a faster rate. Stellar demise. Low-mass stars like our Sun evolve into red giants as they deplete their core hydrogen. Their outer layers shed, forming planetary nebulae and leaving behind white dwarfs. High-mass stars fuse heavier elements, becoming red supergiants before undergoing supernova explosion. These explosions leave behind either neutron stars or black holes, depending on the core's mass. Here are the low-mass stars examples. First, red giant, next, planetary nebulae, and white dwarf. While high-mass stars examples is red supergiant, supernova, neutron star, or a black hole. Stellar evolution. The process of stellar evolution plays a crucial role in recycling matter within the universe. As stars reach the end of their life cycles, they return heavy elements produced during fusion into space. This enriches the interstellar medium, providing the raw materials needed for the formation of new stars and planets, continuing the cosmic cycle of creation and destruction. The pyramid illustrates the three main types of stellar remnants: black holes, neutron stars, and white dwarfs, resulting from stellar evolution categorized by their mass. The numbers 1, 2, and 3 represent the relative mass of the original star, with 1 representing the most massive stars forming black holes.